So in a buyer pre-qualification, one of the most important aspects, I think, as a lender is making sure that the buyer or borrower has an educational background and information on what it is they're doing, why they're doing it, so that it helps them make an informed decision. I think that an informed client's a happier client because they know the process, they know why they're choosing the loan option or program that they're choosing, and they know why it benefits them, not only in this direct transaction, but how it benefits them financially down the road and how it plays into their overall financial picture. That's an important piece. It's not so much closing the transaction after the sale, but it's how well that process works into their overall financial plan, whether it's 12 months from then or 5 years down the road. And so part of what I consider my job is making sure that it's a fit for all of those purposes. In the pre-qualification, because there are so many vast niches and loan programs and options available to borrowers, that every single borrower transaction is not seen the same way. It's a matter of making sure that I've collected as much data as possible, so when I'm working with a borrower, I'm definitely asking for more information than probably most people do. And it's so that I'm able to determine if the decision that they're wanting to go is really the truly best position for them to take, or if there's another option that would be more beneficial and still be able to help them meet their financial goals, to educate them on that possibility so that when they've made that decision, they understand why it was the best choice for them. And that all comes in with needing enough documentation to show that. So once I've received all of that information that I've requested, I sit down and go through it and come up with several different scenarios that would work for the borrower based on what their ultimate goal was, payment, going out monthly, how it fits into their budget, and how it fits into their overall financial picture. Oftentimes I've spoken with their tax preparers or their financial planners if they have one, and I take a look very thoroughly at their tax returns to see if it is in fact the best way to go. I have an extensive tax background, so in addition to reviewing this information, it's beneficial to me to help see where the borrower might also have hidden monies that they're not aware of, things in their withholding that could be adjusted that they're not even aware of will come into play down the road when they've closed their transaction. So once I've obtained the information and I've reviewed what we call an application for the borrower, which is basically information that we've accumulated about their family, their children, if the kids are in private school, how much they expect to see their monthly payment, because that's the best way for me to be able to determine how much what their purchase price or buying power is going to actually look like. I don't take a client and take a look at their entire financials and see how high we can shove them into a purchase. My position is to say, if the client says, I want to max out at $2,500 a month and I want that to include my taxes, my insurance, and my HOA, my job is to then use that information to back them into where their purchase price would be to get them to that point. I also take and I estimate interest rates off of a higher amount, usually about 1/4 to 1/2, depending on the volatility of the market, so that I don't undercut the market. Then it takes them 3 months to get into a house and they're expecting their payment, with all things considered, to look like a 4% interest rate when we're at 5 now. So I try to be very conservative for them so that they know worst case scenario given market changes and volatility. These are also something that I go through with the client so they understand why we're looking at it that way and why we're making that approach. 3 very basic loan scenarios that are out there are VA, FHA, and conventional financing. I'm just going to touch a very basic on each of the 3.